Welcome to Order Militaris Radio TV, and today this is our expose on Jorge Mario Bergoglio, also known as Pope Francis, and how he's connected to the Argentine Dirty War. And we welcome Brother Alexis to the show.
Thank you, AJ, for having me on Order Militaris Radio TV. And we're going to do just a short program for you to give you the chief facts. So what's a good introduction, AJ, to this dirty war?
Well, prior to the election of Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the role of him in Argentina's dirty war was known and documented. It was also known to the U.S. State Department. So it must have been known to one or more of the 115 cardinal electors of the Papal Conclave, which convened at the Sistine Chapel on March 12, 2013. Needless to say, both Catholic hierarchy and the international community has turned a blind eye. In the media, admission has remained silent. So yesterday we found out the hard way. And so we're going to tell you all the facts briefly.
Before we're censored and shut down. So AJ, let's get to the hard facts. What's the first fact that shows that Bergoglio was involved?
So, okay. In the capacity, Bergoglio was the highest-ranking official of the Society of Jesus in Argentina during the war, and the general, Air Force commander, and the Navy commander all said in their testimony that they told and advised the Catholic hierarchy in Argentina of their actions, and also asked their blessing.
So the Catholic bishops of Argentina knew exactly what was going down every moment, step by step. What more do we know?
That he was involved in the handing over of the 2 Jesuit priests and 6 members of their parish to what is called the Navy School of Mechanics, or ESMA, which is the death squad. And the 2 priests point to Father Bergoglio in the trial in 1985 as the during the trial of the leaders of the junta. This is from Father Jorge. I am sure that he himself, Father Bergoglio, gave over the list with our names to the Navy. He further refuted the claim that Bergoglio had acted to save the lives of the priests, saying, I did not have any reason to think he did anything for our release, but much to the contrary. In addition, Father Jorge said that Bergoglio had expelled him from a teaching position at a Jesuit school and spread false rumors to the Argentine High Command, stating that Jorge was a communist and a subversive guerrilla who was after women. Father Yelix also refuted Bergoglio, saying, from subsequent statements by an official and 30 documents that I was able to access later, we were able to prove without any room for doubt that this man Bergoglio did not keep his promise to protect the priests, but on the contrary, he presented the false denunciation to the military.
He actually brought the false accusation to the military, knowing that this would lead to people's deaths. What's some other facts and testimonies we have about this affair?
So, this document bearing the signature of Anselmo Orchion, who served as the director of the Catholic Division on the ministry, appeared on the front page of Pagnian 12, the Argentine daily newspaper, on March 17, 2013. It reads, Father Francisco Yelix, activity of discernment in the Congregation of Religious Sisters, in quotes, conflicts of obedience, detained in the Navy School of Mechanics, May 24th, 1976. Held for 6 months. Accused was Father Jorge of suspicious contact with guerrillas. They lived in a small community with the Jesuit spirit, dissolved in February of 1976, but they refused to obey the order to leave the community on March 19th. The two were let go. No bishop of Buenos Aires would receive them. This notification was received by Mr. Orquion and given to him by Father Bergoglio, who signed the note with a special recommendation not to approve of their request. Signed, Orquion.
So he falsely accused them to the death squad. It sounds like to get them off the property so he could seize the property, which he's famous for. That's really infamous. He was sued subsequently by an Argentine lawyer, was he not? And what does she say about this affair?
In 2005, Argentine human rights attorney Miriam Bregman filed a criminal suit against Bergoglio, who had been elevated to the College of Cardinals, accusing him of complicity in the kidnapping and the torture of Father Jorge and Father Yelix, along with 6 members of their parish. At the time, Bergoglio refused to sit down with her to discuss this and used his Vatican official immunity under Argentine law. And then in a later interview that Sergio Rubin, official biographer of Bergoglio, that he regularly hid people on church property during the Dirty War and once gave his identity papers to a fugitive with similar facial features so the man could escape across the border. But Bergoglio added that these acts were performed in secret since church leaders were called upon to support the junta. Responding to these comments, Ms. Bregman said that Bergoglio's words condemn him and prove that he condoned the torture and the killing. The dictatorship could not have operated without this key support, she said.
That's damning. Now, this dirty war in which the Peronist government attempted to exterminate the far right, the far left in Argentina, this was sponsored by the Wall Street bankers.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we know about their relationship?
Well, one of the key appointments of the military junta on the destruction of Wall Street was the Minister of Economy, Jose Alfredo Martinez de Hoyos, a member of Argentine's business establishment and a close friend of David Rockefeller.
Oh boy, Bilderberger. So the Bilderbergers were behind this dirty war. Do we have any more information about Bergoglio's important role in the Catholic Church, why they had to use the Jesuits in this dirty war?
So Wall Street was firmly behind the military junta which waged the dirty war on its behalf. In turn, the Catholic Church hierarchy played a central role in sustaining the legitimacy of the military junta. The Order of the Society of Jesus, which represented the conservative yet most influential faction within the Catholic Church, closely associated with Argentina's economic elites, was firmly behind the military junta against the so-called leftists in the Peronist movement.
This is really damning. This means that John Paul II knowingly made a man who was involved in murder a cardinal of the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
He was knowingly made Archbishop of Buenos Aires after committing these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that the cardinals, who could have all known of this, elected this man to push Benedict out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is so like the Masonic banks. This reminds me of our long documentary on the role of Wall Street bankers and the rise of Adolf Hitler, how they financed the reorganization of the German industry after the First World War and funded directly Adolf Hitler and his rise to power. They always recruit people in their close circles, and Bergoglio would have been in their close circle of David Rockefeller in Argentina. And that pretty much wraps it up. What book do we get this information from, AJ?
Yeah. This book by Paul L. Williams, Operation Gladio, the unholy alliance between the Vatican, the CIA, and the Mafia.
And this is something Catholics now, you need to put your attention on this. This is not a war between the church and the enemies. These are the enemies inside the church. I've already done a lot of reports at From Rome Info that shows the Catholic hierarchy of Argentina were like this with the neo-Nazi movement, with the Nazis, and helped the Nazis escape. This was with the permission of the US government, with the knowledge of the FBI, because this was all a Masonic bank op. So you have the Masonic banks in New York City creating Adolf Hitler, allowing the Nazi regime officials to escape to Argentina. You have them sponsoring a dirty war in Argentina against the communists, who are the enemies of the Nazis. And Bergoglio just comes out of the woodwork to be Pope after Benedict's ATM machines are shut down and he's told he's no longer wanted. No, it's pretty clear that Bergoglio is a CIA agent. He is a Masonic agent, and that the Vatican has been taken over by the deep state. I think that's the conclusion. You don't promote someone who's this dirty. And people are going to say, well, John Paul II made him a cardinal. John Paul II made Avery Dulles the nephew of the founder of the CIA, who was a Skull and Bones Lodge member, a cardinal. Mm-hmm. So John Paul II washed money through the Vatican Bank for CIA projects around the world that killed people and that overthrew the communist government in Poland. So,
oh yeah, we're not done with this book, folks.
What's our next program going to be on?
The Catholic Masons in the P2 Lodge.
Which pretty much shows that Vatican II was a CIA op. Mm-hmm. It's complete Masonic control. And we don't realize how much the Masons are controlling the Catholic hierarchy. It's unbelievable. Thank you for having me on this program, AJ, and look forward to our next expose on the P2 Lodge.
Yep. This is Order Militaris Radio TV signing off. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.